Welcome to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm your host, Woody Zimmerman, here with Mark Skibowski of RE/MAX Lakes. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I want to say thank you for our cup. I know we're on the radio, but you can see it in the video. Me
The
and
fancy
Roger.
schmancy.
Yes, we got the RE/MAX Lakes cup. So I think
You're welcome.
I like my coffee. So
Good deal.
Going to talk about the do's and the don'ts of buying a home.
Yeah, we talk a lot of detail and sometimes pretty general. This is more a general topic, but it's not just for first-time home buyers. It's not, for experience. It's for everybody. Anybody who's considering buying a home, these are tips that should be helpful for you.
Okay.
I guess what's my standard theme? What's number one on the list?
Get pre-approved.
Get a pre-approval.
Yes.
Right? Get a pre-approval with a local lender.
Mm-hmm.
There's more and more of these, online banks that have come out. We went through the mortgage crisis. There was a big shrinkage in the number of lenders that were out there.
Oh, yeah.
The market's picked up again. We're starting to see them come back. The lending tree, you get 8 offers, in 3 minutes, and then your email gets bombarded for the next year with people, hey, you want to buy, want to buy, want to buy, want to buy. Talk to a local lender. It just makes the process go that much smoother.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got questions, concerns, if you need to drop paperwork off, and there is a lot of paperwork involved with when you get to that point. Some lenders on a pre-approval, they want W-2s, they want tax records, that kind of stuff. If you don't have the technological ability to scan and email those documents off, going to a local lender, hey, we just made it easier. They'll do that for you.
Yeah.
You walk in the door, hand them your paper docs, and they
Drop
do
them
it.
off, yeah.
I've got I have to use this term, politely now, an elderly gentleman, because I'm getting closer to that myself. But, he's 76, 77 years old, doesn't scan. He does have email on his phone or whatever, but he can't scan, so he's got to take a picture of whatever he's doing. And it just worked for him. We sent him to a local lender. They took all of his paperwork, all his docs, made it that much easier for him. So get that pre-approval.
Yeah.
Beating that dead horse
Yeah.
over and over and
Then
over
you know
again.
which stadium you're playing in.
That absolutely.
Plain and simple. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that pre-approval is an important piece. And then we get the I'm shopping realtors. Well, interview if that's what you choose to do. Ultimately, pick an agent and work with an agent. They're going to be able to help you the most. And it just makes sense. Whether it's me, whether it's, your cousin Billy Bob, I don't care who it is, pick an agent and work with an agent that you're comfortable with, because it's just common sense. If you're looking to work with or to buy something, do you want to talk to 10 different people about the same property or 10 different things,
No.
the same thing? Or do you want somebody who's actually looking out for your best interest, working on your behalf?
Yeah.
And in the market as hot as it is right now, having somebody that is working on your behalf is very important. When houses are selling in a day or less, it really makes sense to have somebody looking out for your best interest.
Sure.
So, as if you're considering buying, get that pre-approval, get an agent right out of the gate. Don't go, through open houses. I mean, that's kind of old school, although with COVID, you're not seeing near as many open houses,
No,
right?
you're not. You're right.
Much more restrictive. You're searching on your own. You're searching on the Zillows of the world, Realtor.com, any of that stuff. Talk to an agent. They're your one-stop shop to get information on properties that are available for you.
Yeah, so even if you're looking on Realtor.com or what have you, still just take that information. You can copy that or send a link over to your agent, and then your agent can check into that listing for you.
Absolutely. So if somebody on Realtor.com clicks, ask an agent, it may not go to the agent that you think you're going to work with. It's just going to an agent. Quite honestly, Realtor.com and Zillow, they're for-profit businesses. They sell that advertising space to agents.
Okay.
Agents like me buy space on Realtor.com and on Zillow. So when you click that, ask an agent, you get the person who's paid the most to get that placement.
Oh,
Bottom line, that's what it is. So, fortunately, I'm spending money on those ads. I'm getting, getting leads out of Realtor.com, but you don't know who you're going to. So, hey, click on Realtor.com in Warsaw, you'll probably come to Mark. I'd love that. but go to the person that you want to work with. I mean,
Right.
that's the bottom line. And if it's me, great. If it's not, that's okay too. But pick an agent, stick with that agent. You don't need to call 10 different agents to get information on different houses. Pick somebody and work with them. It just makes sense.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Okay.
So, look at stuff that is within your price range.
Yeah.
Please do.
And the pre-approval, the pre-approval helps with that. But
Yes. Yes, it really does. It doesn't make any sense to get all wound up thinking, hey, I can buy this house. And I don't care what your rent is. I don't care, what you pay for cars. I don't, any of that stuff. Without the pre-approval, you don't know what a bank is going to approve you for.
Right.
And I get it. If you're not in the business and you're, hey, I'm paying $1,000 a month for rent. I got a $500 a month car payment. My wife's got a $500 a month car payment. We get those cars paid off. I can afford $2,000 a month. Well, maybe not.
Right.
Maybe the bank will allow it. Maybe they won't. Or, I've got those 2 cars. I'm not going to sell them. I'm paying $1,000 rent. I should be able to afford $1,000 a month car or house payment. Maybe not. That's why it's important that you talk to a lender. They run through their magic ratio funnel, and they'll tell you what you're pre-approved for, and not only the amount, but the type of financing that you're pre-approved for.
Yeah, because they're putting in maintenance and they're putting everything. They put everything together.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to talk more about this. The do's and the don'ts of buying a home. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm your host, Woody Zimmerman, here with Mark Skibowski of RE/MAX Lakes, and we're talking about the do's and the don'ts of buying a home, and we talked about pre-approval. That's always number one.
Always number one.
Always number one. And then pick an agent and work with that agent.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
That'd be number 2. And then, of course, number 3 on the list, besides getting the pre-approval, stay in your price range. And you find out that information with your pre-approval, but stay in your price range.
Yeah, the way the market is going right now, homes are selling for less than 1% off of list price. So that house that's listed at $250, highly unlikely you're going to buy it for $200.
Right.
Highly unlikely. Could happen. But it depends on, there's a lot of things that come out there. Again, the agents in my office ask me a question and they know my standard answer, well, it depends. When it comes to a contract or any of that stuff, well, it depends. There's some things that are black and white, and there's a lot of things that it depends.
Right.
But I can tell you, in general, 1% off of list price. We do the stats, for the market updates and those things. It makes no sense. If you're pre-approved for 200, don't look at 250s. Because you're not going to purchase that home.
Right.
You just are not. And once you've seen a 250, a 200 is never going to suit you. Whether it's the specific house. I mean, and I've had clients, I love that house. When we get into multiple offer situations and you don't get it, they relive it over and over and over again. Well, if only I had just. Well, that's the discussion we have in a multiple offer is go do it to where you can walk away and say, if I got it, great, and if I don't, I can't, lose any sleep over it.
Right.
It is what it is. But stay in your price range. Stay in your price range. And I guess the last thing on the do's, continue to save money. If you can. There are going to be, unexpected things that happen when you own a house. And I can't predict what those are, but I can tell you, stuff's going to break.
Right.
And if you don't have the funds, how are you going to get the money to pay for it? You're going to go put everything on your credit card, when something breaks. And I know sometimes, hey, that's the way it has to be. But while you're in this process looking, save money. Be, financially responsible and save some money as you're going to the closing table. Your bank's going to want to see it anyways. So save money throughout the process.
I've never thought I'd have to replace the basement wall, but I've had to. And
Yeah.
they're expensive.
Very expensive. Furnaces go out, dishwashers go out, washer, dryer go out, things happen. So that's kind of the end of the do's, I guess, that save money, an important piece regardless. You're going to have unexpected things.
All right, let's get to the don'ts.
The don'ts.
Because they're important.
The don'ts. What's number 1? Don't look at a home without a pre-approval.
Yes.
Without a pre-approval.
Right.
So number 1 is get one. Number 1 on the don'ts is don't look without a pre-approval.
Right.
It's frustrating to sellers if people come in that aren't technically qualified buyers just going to look, especially again in the time of COVID. There's no sense exposing yourself or others. If you're not ready to buy, there's no sense to go out and look at those houses.
Yeah, it interrupts their day because they,
Right.
they've got to leave the house for an hour or whatever, and they've got to take the animals,
Right.
the whole 9 yards.
Right. They're getting ready for the showing, and they're waiting, thinking that they had
Right.
somebody that's qualified to purchase their home walk through the house.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to see it. And I got to tell you, I had a call not too long ago from a gal that said, hey, house is on the market. Can I go look at it? And I go through the standard. Are you pre-approved? Really comes out it was her grandfather's house. And she had gone through it when she was a kid. She had spent summers there, and she really just wanted to go back and look at the house. Now, again, COVID.
Right.
And again, I convinced her that no, this was not the right thing to do to go there, but it happens. And one day I'll write a book. Maybe I'll use this show to write that book because we talk about a lot of those things.
Yeah.
But so, anyways, if you're not pre-approved, don't go out and look at property. Don't take on any new debt. Once you've met with that lender
Yes.
and you've got your pre-approval, do not go out. A lot of times we get at the closing table, they will ask, there's a form you sign that says, I haven't taken any new debt on. Your lender may pull your credit just prior to closing.
Yeah.
That 90 days, same as cash, for the new furnishings that you're going to put in the house that you worked so hard and saved and you've been waiting to get into, that could submarine the entire transaction if it shows up on your credit report.
Yeah.
90 days, same as cash, is debt.
Yeah.
You have to pay that back.
Right.
I was listening to a conversation in our office. An agent was walking by on their cell phone. They had a buyer that went and quit their job.
No.
3 weeks into the transaction, they're
Yeah.
talking about getting ready for closing, and the buyer quit their job.
No.
Guess what? You're not going to buy that house. Now, all is not lost. You get a new job, and you need to bring a couple of paychecks along the way, but stay consistent in what you're doing. So basically, don't make any financial changes, meaning new debt. Paying stuff off, sometimes that can actually harm your credit score. So that's why it's important to have a lender that you're working with and stay in touch before you do anything. Talk to your lender. Hey, I'm thinking about paying off this credit card. I'm taking 10 grand out of savings to pay this credit card off. Well, that may not be such a good thing.
Right.
Because now you don't have those closing proceeds that I was talking about, where they're going to check and validate that you've got funds left.
Right.
So no new debt.
Okay.
Basically, the don't change jobs, don't quit your job, don't. A lot of those things are don'ts. Just pay attention, talk to your lender, talk to your agent before you make any financial changes when you're in the home buying process.
Yeah, those are things that I have heard along the way. Now, there have been situations where if you're a professional in this job and then you take another job, a bank will look at that and they'll be okay.
They're
that's
okay,
fine.
but again, talk to your lender, ask them.
Okay.
Don't ask their permission. Just ask, how is this going to impact this transaction?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great tips, the do's and don'ts of buying a home. All right, Mark, your contact information?
Sure, the website's lakes-realtors.com. Phone number is 574-834-1233. Can always email me at markskibowski@remax.net. And hey, we're putting this stuff out on YouTube. Search real estate in real time. You can find us.
Cool. And see the new fancy
Less
buttons.
fancy new cuts.
All right, there we go.
Cha-ching.
You've been listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Have yourself a wonderful weekend.